All right, I'm recording. Okay. All right, this is George live from Mexicali, Mexico. And what I'm gonna do today, what I promised you guys, I told you I was gonna do an interview for you guys today. You've been hearing me talk about Black Ops over and over again. You've been hearing me talk about the 1K a day formula, the 7-figure formula. And I have right now live with us, Emily Ching, and she has just been amazing. She's gonna tell us her story, and she's been a part of Black Ops long before I joined. So she's definitely well versed with the 7-figure formula. She's reached massive amounts of success, and she took that on to the outside world, not just the online marketing, but she's been having massive amounts of success in her life. And I'm just very, very grateful to have her here. So Emily, you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Emily Ching. First off, I'd like to thank you, George, for this opportunity talking to me. I am from Vancouver, BC, on the West Coast. I am in the real estate industry and have been it for the past 6 years.
Awesome. 6 years in real estate.
Yeah.
6 years. All right, Emily. And the reason for this interview is because you're just a normal person. I'm a normal person, and if you already had a job with real estate and you've been in real estate for 6 years, what made you even look into Black Ops?
I got into Black Ops because I wanted another stream of income.
Okay.
So my real estate business is local, right? And I wanted something else that would work globally, internationally, so I can reach people from somewhere else, right? But what happened was the training in Black Ops, it naturally applied to my business. I did not intend it that way. It just happened naturally, and that's where it snowballed. And I saw the effect maybe 2 or 3 months after applying the training.
Okay. And I think, and I try to tell people, like, I don't think any of us, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anybody that's inside of Black Ops knew how big it was going to impact their life. Like I did, because I was in Mexico. And a little bit about me, after my deportation, it's like I've been 6 figures before, and everybody knows about my tire company. I was doing international tire business, and I went into the direct TV. I was #1 sales rep, and then I get in trouble, and I thank God for that. God gave me a timeout. Unfortunately, they put me in Mexico, and it's like I can't work for pesos. It's like, imagine you tell me you're from the Philippines, right? Imagine you having to obtain the same lifestyle you have now in Philippines with the currency they pay over there. I'm just like, it's just not gonna happen. I have 3 children, so I got online just for an income. And it, just like you, I did not plan that it was going to change my life. I did not have a plan that it was going to avoid the rejection and make me a real entrepreneur. A lot of us confuse being a salesman for entrepreneur. And I'm always confused. I'm the #1 rep, but it's like, you're not the entrepreneur. You're just the, the #1 salesman. So back to that. That's very big. I mean, a lot of, like you said, you had your business, but it is local, and internet is the only way you were going to globalize it, go international with it. Right. And how did that impact your business, if you want to get into detail? Because you said it impacted your business personally.
Yes, huge. The first 2 years I was in my business, I struggled because, first of all, my kids were young, so I'm limited to where I am. Mm-hmm. I did not have a mentor. I tried many different things. I spent a lot of money not knowing that I should stick to one thing and try to make it work before moving on to something else. So I did all that, spent a lot of money. I've also gone into coaching programs for real estate and also for general entrepreneurship, right?
Awesome.
But what I found in Black Ops is it's just the mindset training. Like I tell this many times, whatever coaching programs you get on, you get all the tools, you get all the instructions, you get all the gurus telling you what systems you have to be in. But if your mind, I'm sorry?
All the ingredients?
Exactly. But if your mindset is not there, if your mindset is not right, and you don't take the necessary actions or how to take those actions, it's not going to work. Like, you can spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for every coach you can get, but if the mindset is not there, it's not going to work.
Right. And what's different about Black Ops when it comes to the mindset? Because right now I'm looking at it like, if I'm just watching this, it sounds like, okay, what if I get Tony Robbins? What if I buy this book? What if I can find it for free on YouTube? I can find it for free here. What's different? What do you mean the mindset? What does Black Ops do that is just different? Your mindset changes.
The mentorship, the mentorship, yes, the constant presence of our mentors is there to guide you.
Right.
I've been to Tony Robbins. That is probably what fast forwarded me to, I've always been in personal development, but I attended an event in 2015 that propelled me, but that's just one event, right?
Right.
A few months after, I don't think I went back to my old ways, but then there's no accountability. There's no one present there for you to be accountable to, right? But with Black Ops, the mentors are there. We are there. Our teammates are there. You see some people's successes. It's not a competition, but their success lifts you up to do better. Right? Because like you said, we're all normal people, we're regular folks, but the collective, the team, when you see someone succeeding, you would want to do the same, but it's not competition. Like, you can go your own pace, right? But you make sure that you're doing something every day to get to where you want to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. I think it's the presence of our mentors.
I've learned so much in that little bit of the little 2 minutes that you get, because it's true. It's like, how come this works for me? And I'm just feeling it, right? And I'm just the guy that everybody knows. I've been locked in a cell for 4 years, and I get out and I just instantly pass everybody. Everybody that's on doing their little commissions and Facebook, just instantly pass them. Now people are calling me mentor and coach. And it's like, how did that happen? And you hit the nail on the head, because I have read every possible book, basically, in Napoleon Hills. I have been to the mentoring. I have, obviously, I went to Arizona State University for psychology. I have very close group of friends when it comes to success and masterminding, but I've never had a mentor, a millionaire mentor that held me accountable every day. And that's the whole difference maker. Yeah. It's like, you not only is it one or two, it's 3 millionaire mentors holding you accountable for your actions, like every day. So if you go to Tony Robbins, you might go to him in a day and then it's over. With mentorship, you're not really going out there. They're coming to you every day. You're going to see it on your page every day. You're going to see it on email every day. You're going to get on interviews like this. So the constant mentoring and the accountability, it's huge. I never thought about that, Emily. It's the accountability aspect.
Yep. And another thing that I found, I can't remember who, I think it was Nicole who interviewed me, and I said, what we have right now with Black Ops is the missing link for you to be successful. Just like what you said, you have all the books, you can read all the books you want, right? But if it's just there, after you read it, you forget about it, what happens? Nothing. Right? Nothing. So what I can say about our team is, like, if my real estate business disappeared, with what I've learned in Black Ops and with from our mentors and the team, like, even if I fell right now and my business disappears, I will be able to find something else to get me back up because of that mindset that they put us in right now.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing, like you said. And I want to do a little transition, because this one is big for me, Emily. And I don't know if you feel the same way. Obviously you do with what you said, but to me, I've always been a long-term kind of guy. And I've never believed in offering people opportunities that can end like this. And Black Ops is the only thing I found that if the whole company went down If Darren Little, if everybody just left me alone, I took everything with me.
Right.
It's like nothing changes in my life. Nothing.
Exactly.
It's like I understand accountability. I understand millionaire mentoring. I understand the 7-figure formula. I have people like you in my corner. I have the whole, it's like a big family that's not going to go anywhere. If the company gets shut down, like there is no more Facebook. It doesn't matter. And the 7-figure formula. And that's a big, big difference when I see people online and they're, oh, my company's this, my product's this. And then you obviously haven't been in sales long enough to know what happens when the product goes away.
Right.
Because I've been there. I've been in the fetal position, like, oh my God, I don't have the company just went down. I don't have a product. I don't have nothing to sell. I don't have a team. And, people get really, really attached to the company and product and their value diminished. And when the company goes away, you don't have any value. You don't. You were just a salesman. And with Black Ops, it's like your value just increases day in and day out. And you're just branding yourself constantly. So to me, like you said, I think that is part of the missing link right there. What we're taught is what? To put the value first, put yourself first, and the product in the back end. And I've never heard of that before. I actually had one person that it was a prospect, and they told me that I was backwards. They said, you always put the product first. And I said, excuse me? They're like, you always put the product first. And a person that wants to do small talk with you and doesn't put the product, there's a scheme behind that. And I said, what? No, this was like about 3 days ago. And I was like, you better hope that company doesn't go down, because then you'll have nothing to present. You have nothing to present. You don't have nothing.
Right. And I want to add to that, how a lot of network marketers will have different products that they're selling because it's what they do, right? Yeah. But when someone sells, 2 or 3 products and people see you do that online promoting these different products, like, I don't see credibility.
Right.
What exactly are you doing? That's what I struggled with the very first time I came into Black Ops, because I intended it to be another business, right? And I was struggling with my identity. Am I a realtor or am I an online marketer promoting something, right? So after those few months that I'm applying the training to my real estate business, which just happened naturally, that's when the light bulb came up, because I was branding myself.
There you go.
So just like what our mentors are teaching us, you promote the product in the back end. So depending on who I'm talking to, right? If it's someone local, they would know that I'm in the real estate business, right? But depending on who I'm talking to, I can tell them about another opportunity that I have, but not exactly announcing it to the world, because it would depend on who you're talking to. Right? So that was a light bulb on my part.
Yeah.
That, because we are taught to brand ourselves, and that's what we are doing. So it doesn't matter what we have to offer, right? Because people will trust us, and it doesn't matter what we have.
And that's the thing that gets me going. When people tell me, hey, you make it sound so easy. You make 1K a day sound, it's like, it is, because it's me. I'm 100% comfortable in selling myself, presenting myself, giving you the value. And it's easy when I don't have to put all my trust in a product or a company and on a manager or boss. It's like you're competing with myself. That's it. Like you said, we're taking our own steps, as a team. And that's self-branding. It's funny that we're talking about that, because I don't think I sent you an invitation yet. I just launched my page today where it says work with the real George. It's therealgeorge.com. And the reason, when I first got into Black Ops 4 months ago, almost, it was called Millionaire Marketing, because I was like, I'm gonna go as a marketer. I'm gonna be an online marketer. I'm gonna be a promoter. And at the end of all my millionaire mentoring, it's like, you know what you are? You're George. It's like, you're not an online marketer. You're not a promoter. It's like, you're George. If you was to take everything away from me, my value would not go anywhere. And this is, I think, what you were mentioning earlier. Like, you're going to always be Emily. If they're like, we're not going to sell any more homes, and we're not going to do Facebook, you're like, okay, that's fine with me, because your brand, it's not damaged. You know, your reputation won't ever get down.
No, that's right.
And that's just a
That's right.
different comfortability, and you can just, it just flows real easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's that. Let me talk about, because I'm sure people want to know about this. So that's your story. That's how you got in. That's how it helped you out. What about here comes the hard questions. What about people that are afraid of rejections? Because I did a post this morning about rejections. The people that can't generate any leads, that because it happens. And you know the crazy thing about this, everybody's like, rejection is a part of the game. Everybody comments that. Rejection is something that you have to go through. You just have to take as much rejection as possible to be successful. And that's how you're gonna get your leads. And I'm like, oh my, because I was that guy. I was the guy. What do you have to say about the afraid of rejection, the no leads? How did Black Ops change that for you? And did it change it for you?
Yes. There's no rejection, because when you brand yourself and when you do it the right way and people come to you, you actually get to reject people you don't want to work with.
Ooh.
Right? Well,
And
but
people
it's
mad at
true.
me when I do that, when I tell them it's not for you. It's like money. How do you know I can sell anything? Like, dude, this isn't sales. Like we're talking 7-figure formula. If 7 figures was based on a product, in which a lot of people do this, they search for the product that's going to make them rich. There is no product that's going to make you rich.
Right.
You haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. I'll tell you about how it worked with my business. So
Please.
when we are taught to just provide value after value after value without expecting anything in return, right? So that's what I did with my prospects, with my client, with my whole database. So I would send about 1 or 2 newsletters a month to keep in contact with my database. So I did it 4 to 6 times getting into Black Ops. So after 2 or 3 months, I was seeing the results because people were contacting me when they were ready either to buy or to sell. Like, you know, with real estate, it's not something you buy from the shelf. Like it's not an impulsive decision, right? It takes years for families to decide to move. So after 2 or 3 months of doing that, providing that value, I'm assuming because I'm in their face more, they trust me more, right? Because I'm giving them value. So they started calling me because they were ready to sell or they were ready to buy. So I didn't even have to chase them.
Right.
And because of that, I had prospects in my list, right? And I have turned the cold leads into warm leads.
Ooh.
You know, now we're, communicating constantly. It's not just them being an audience. Like every time I would send something or post something, I would get a response. There's engagement now.
Yeah.
Because of that. So trust is huge. Like with any business, trust, right? Trust is huge. And I would have some realtors, sometimes they would comment about doing Facebook ads and then they're not getting anything. They, no one in their right mind would hire a realtor without knowing them. Like I am buying something that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not going to pick someone from a Facebook ad to work with. Right? So you need to be trusted first before anyone will work with you. Right? And, like our mentors, Darren, will always say, people will work with you if they like you, if they know you, if they trust you. So that in my business is a huge thing.
Right. Trust is everything. And just to touch on that, so what you're telling me is your only focus, and what Black Ops has taught you, because it's not something you can just start doing, is you're comfortable enough and you have enough value to give it out for free.
Right.
To the point where people are looking for you and knocking on your door like, hey, I've been keeping up with you. I know who you are. So instead of going through a cold lead, freezing lead, cold calling, instead of the rejection and instead of the follow-up, they gotta reject you 8 times, and so on and so on. What you're telling me is you figured out a way, okay, with the formula for people to come to you and it's a warm lead, basically ready to buy, and you get to make the decision if they're the right people for your business or the right person for that home or not. And that's amazing. That's amazing. And
It
I'm
is.
looking at it as in a real estate aspect, and it's like you are your company, you are your brand.
Like some of my clients now, they don't even know what brokerage I'm with, and they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, when I moved from one brokerage to the next, because I was loyal with the first one for 5 years, and when I decided to move into a new one, I kind of worried about, will that matter? Because I was with this huge company, right?
You were
So
attached.
I'm sorry?
You were attached. How all salesmen, we all think like that. If I leave this company,
Yes.
would it damage my reputation? Yeah.
Exactly. So before I made that decision, I actually contacted my clients if it would matter to them. And they said no. Not one said yes.
And that's
and then there are clients that I'm working with right now, they don't even know, like after so many conversations, after working with them, and then they would ask me, who are you with again? Like, it didn't matter. When you brand yourself and you do the right things, it won't matter who you're with, because people will trust you and would want to work with you.
And
that's the big thing.
That's the whole thing. So and it's so cool to listen to you, because I'm a part of this and I'm involved in this. And as I'm taking notes, I'm reading it. It's like how to turn cold leads into warm leads. How to, instead of getting rejected, you get to choose who you reject.
Right.
We're all taking little steps, even though it's all a big team. Self-branding. It's the constant accountability. I mean, all of this, the formula, your whole life changed everything. How much did you pay for Black Ops?
$1,349.
$1,349. So all of these notes and the whole interview, everything you just gave me was paid with $1,300.
Yep.
That's
right. It's peanuts.
Peanuts. And I'm thinking, like, you just gave me the whole life of your whole life changed, and you're telling me $1,300.
Right.
That's amazing.
And that's all you need to get started and get all this life lessons and life skills from our mentors and from our team, right? Because with our team, like, I could reach out to you and ask you for help, right? And you're not necessarily someone who brought me in, right? I've reached out to many other members asking help for, with regards to technical stuff. Yeah. I've done that, and everyone is happy to help, right? Because that's where it comes in. The value that you provide, it just gives back to you many times over.
Right. And that's the thing. That's really what I really what you helped me out a lot. And I call you all the time. I text you all the time. I send you messages, and you're like, yeah, this is how you do it. This is what works for me. Billy is huge in my marketing business, because he sends me the funnels. I mean, I didn't even have to do the funnels. He's like, what, you need a funnel? He's like, you switch your name. And it's like a professionally done. I mean, the guy's making thousands and thousands of dollars professionally, and he charges thousands and thousands of dollars for this. But for the Black Ops members, has he ever charged you?
No.
He's never charged me. He doesn't charge for Black Ops members. And it's like damn little charges. What is it? $10,000 for a one-on-one, a whole week, $3,000 a session. How many, honestly, how many millionaire mentoring sessions do we get a week? 3, 4, 5?
Yep.
And each one costs $3,000?
Yep. And the mentors don't get anything from it, right? They spend a few hours each training session to teach everyone. They're not getting anything out of it, right?
Hours.
Nothing. Yeah. So the biggest thing is for us, to be in this business or in whatever business, not thinking about the money that we're going to earn. Like with me, with real estate, I don't even count my commission until I need I need to. Like when someone asks me for help, I will, be there to help them and serve them in any way I can. When you start thinking about the money, like with whatever business, it's going to be short term. Your success is going to be short term. We are here, we need to serve. It's the biggest thing, and then the money will follow.
Right.
We have to have our priorities straight, that we are here to help and to serve, and whatever we get out of that, we need to be grateful.
Right. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. I did a post yesterday on my page about if you're in MLM and you haven't realized that your business is the people, then you're in the wrong business. You don't have an office in MLM. You can forget about your laptop, forget about your phone, forget about your faith. The people is your business. That is your whole everything. And the more you invest in people, the more you invest in your business. And it's like,
that's right.
And that's just the way I look at MLM. Like if MLM is made to bring people up, inspire, empower, help one another. And that's what Black Ops does. And I mean, constantly, they took me, a convict, deportee and this and that. And, and they were like, hey, look, well, you're going to be a millionaire. And if you don't believe me, look at everybody else that's making $30,000, $40,000 a month. About when it comes to the money, what Darren Little had an $8,000 day yesterday. Our other mentor, Cedric, he's made over $17 million online and over $22 million altogether in marketing. Ari Maccabee's having $70,000 days. And then it's,
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And it's not, you could tell how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when I'm hearing your success stories. And like, yeah, Emily is making $10,000. Emily's had this, Emily's got that. And you don't have to tell us how much you've made, but just in the ball range, did it raise your income by a minimum of $2,000 a month?
Oh, definitely. I'll tell you, because Darren has asked me that in public. For my transactions directly related to Black Ops training for the first half of 2017, I have increased my income by $50,000.
$50,000 in your first half of the year.
Yep.
How is that not crazy? So hold on, let me go back. So you increased $50,000. How much did it cost for you to do all of this again?
$1,349.
Isn't it
I told you, it's peanuts compared to what you are going to learn. Like even if you don't earn anything from Black Ops, from getting members to come in, the benefits of the mindset shift that you will get, it's priceless. Right? So when someone asks me now, okay, what are you selling me? How much is it going to cost? And I would tell them nothing if you don't see any value in it. Right? If they don't have to purchase.
Right.
If they don't see any value in it, then they don't have to do anything.
And that's right. That's right.
Right? If you want your life to change, then $1,300 is nothing.
Right.
It's nothing.
Right.
I mean, my hat's off to you. You've been in prison. Look where you are right now.
Yeah, thank you.
It's crazy.
Yeah, thank you. And I give it all to, first of all, God and you guys. And it's like a lot of people, I could not be doing this interview right now. I could not be talking to Emily, Billy, Savage, she's so cool, Charlene Savage. And I could not be talking to Darren. I could not be moving to the Philippines to go talk to Ari Maccabee. I could just sit in Mexico and drink beer like the rest of everybody else. I just got out of prison. Let's drink some beer. And it's like there comes a point in your life where you're gonna have to pick that circle, those people that you want to learn from, the people that you want in your life. You're gonna come a point where you're gonna have to link energies together, and you have to make a decision. Do you want to link your energy to a product? Do you want to link it to a job? Or do you want to link it to a movement of success, empowerment, inspiration? And honestly, I did join for the money at the beginning, but most of it was for the teachings. Most of it was for that. So when you said, if you don't see any value, you don't have to buy it. For me, that's how it was. I wanted the school of it. I wanted to learn how they were doing it. And 7 days later, I made $1,000. 2 days later, another $1,000. And it's like, wait a minute. I just joined 8-9 days ago and I'm $2,000 up. You know how much that is in Mexico? That's 6 months
I know.
You get paid $3,500 a year in Mexico. And so I made $2,000 and 8-9 days. And I started doing my own thing. I got off the formula, so I didn't do good for about 2-3 weeks. And I was just down, like, what happened? And believe it or not, I went 2 weeks without watching any of Darren's videos. I go back to Darren's videos, another $1,000 pops up. And it's like, and now that links what you said earlier about the accountability. You leave the group, you go back to that. You stay plugged in, you start getting them again. And me and you talked about that yesterday, how you're like, they say the same thing, but it's just a different environment. It keeps you going. It's just the accountability. So when it comes to the money, you had a phenomenal success, $50,000. And you know what the crazy thing is? And for people to hear this, you are extremely happy with your pace and how you're going, and you're running your own race. But I think people need to know that there's people that are doing much bigger things than you and I, much bigger.
Right.
And it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like, but they're using the same formula. So it's like, once it clicks, because I doubt you're going to make $50,000 next year. Next year, you're going to easily times that by 3 or 4, because it's the compression of how you're working. It's just it's income explosions. And, once you stick around for a year or two, you start doing, the $30,000 months, the $40,000 months, like Charlene, and like the 17-year-old kid. What do you do? Over $50,000 in 6 weeks? What was it, like $52,000 in 6 weeks?
I think so.
And he's not even old enough to buy cigarettes, but he's old enough to buy you a brand new car. Or you can go get a Mercedes. And it's crazy the amount of value you get. What were you?
Sorry, and I just wanted to add one thing. I have spoken to a few people. When I tell them about Charlene's results, right, for $40,000 in 10 weeks, and some people say that they're uncomfortable with the figures because they don't think it's real. They think it's fake, right? With Darren making $165,000, I think, in a month. Yeah. But that's the mindset.
If you haven't been involved in something like this.
Right. And that's the mindset that the training puts us into. Nothing is impossible. Right? Because we are conditioned, we grow up conditioned to make a certain amount a month, and that's it. But the training that we get is anything is possible, right? We don't need to limit ourselves with what environment is telling us to, like how we grew up and whatnot. Like, it doesn't have to limit us. That's another big thing that the training did for me.
You know what I figured this out, no joke. I figured this out this morning, and I know we had the interview going a little long, so I'll cut it short a little bit, because I know you're a busy woman. Every time I call, you're busy. So this morning, when I was doing my meditation, because Darren and them, our mentors, are big on that, and I'm doing my meditation, and I'm just imagining, picturing the money going in my body, out my body, in my body, out my body, and it clicked. You could only bring in which you believe you can put out.
Yeah, exactly.
See $50,000 coming your way in 30 days is because you don't believe you have $50,000 worth of value. It's not that it's not real. It's not that it's not there. You just haven't even begin to think that you're worth $50,000 to the rest of the world in 30 days of value.
Right.
You haven't believed that you're worth $100,000 to the rest of the world when it comes to value. And no joke, it clicked this morning. It's like, I put my hands out, right? Imagine the money coming in my hand. Okay, I was like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. And I counted all the way to 10. And I was like, okay, put it in this hand and I gave it back out to the world. See, it went through me and back out. Right. But this is the thing. I was meditating on it coming back sevenfold. So when I put my hand back out, now I times it by 7. This is the thing, though. Now the world got times 7 as well. And it's like, the more I put out this way, the more this door opens. And that's what I meditated this morning. And I ended up my meditation with throwing the money in the air. And then I was like, all right, let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, let's go, it's time. And I just got
That's
up and
awesome.
called you. Was like, you ready for the interview? And that's it. So that's
Yeah.
it. I never would have thought of that without Darren and all of them. Never.
Yep. And I always remember this thing I heard from one of the meditations that I did. You know how some people are just so stingy and they just want to keep their money without spending. They just want to get and get and get without spending. And I heard this meditation once and I always remember it. Money is like breathing. You In order for it to get into you, you have to let it out. It's a right? Inhale, exhale. It's just like breathing. Money is like that. If you don't give it out, it doesn't come back. And I will always remember that, just like exactly what you said right now.
Yeah, and there's a
Right?
and there's another this is a quick example for the viewers because that was two examples, but this is the third one and the last one because I know you're busy. I told my uncle one time, I once pictured a dollar with a time clock on it. All of them blow up in your face if you do not get rid of them in time. They all have a time bomb on them. And if you can't hear it go tick, tick, tock, it's hot potato. It's hot potato. And I was like, and people that don't understand those laws they're like, the money keeps blowing up in their face. I don't know why it's not going good. I've worked so hard and I've got paid and I've made $10,000 a month, but I'm broke. You keep letting it blow up in your face. You're not giving back. And these are the
Right,
things that
exactly.
mentors would teach you because they just have a lot of money. So they've experienced the money blowing up. They experienced the money being choked. They experienced the lack of oxygen when it comes to the intake. They experienced the lack when it comes to giving out. So all of these things is like, you don't have to experience them on your own. You have people that already experienced them. Just follow the formula. Well,
Right.
do you have any final notes that you want to give our audience? And I know you're recording this, and shouts out to Emily's audience. She's amazing.
Actually, I'm not recording it because when I tried to, it said I didn't have permission from you. So I'm
Okay, I got it.
relying on the recording. Yeah. Okay.
I'll send it to
Last
you.
words. I've gone through so many training and I've been looking for this one that just shifts my mindset, right? And I found it. It's in Black Ops. So if if anyone watching this is a struggling entrepreneur, even if you're not, right? But if you know you need that mindset shift, this is going to be it. And for the small amount that you're going to pay to get in, you are going to get more benefit. It's priceless. I can say right now it's priceless. Because another post that I did, George, I don't know if you read that a few weeks ago. Another big thing about this millionaire mentorship is I am teaching my kids the same thing. Like right now, my 11-year-old just told me when she was in school, there was this Bible verse. And then she said, what she answered, she said, she learned from me. And I didn't even remember her telling, I don't even remember myself telling her this. And she said, what she wrote down was, for every obstacle, there is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like this was coming from my 11-year-old, and I didn't even know that I was, teaching her, not knowing it.
Yeah. The
And
7-figure formula.
it's awesome. Like they're growing up how we weren't brought up.
Right.
They're growing up with the right mindset, and that I think is absolutely priceless.
Right. And that's big because like you said, we might have not been millionaires growing up, but because we took millionaire mentoring, we can get out the way and let them get that same teaching. So now, even though you didn't have millionaire parents, you're growing up with millionaire mentality, a millionaire state of mind, just an abundance, and that's big. And I'm glad you brought up your children because I wanted to go back at the beginning, and it was my fault. Bad, horrible interview, guy. Just so everybody knows, and I don't want people to think that you're like superwoman or nothing.
No.
Are you married and do you have kids? And was this a part-time thing? I mean, how many do you have, Emily?
I have 2 girls, 11 and 9.
Okay.
So I am pretty busy. I drive them around. My husband works at an architectural firm, so I'm the one driving them. I'm the one bringing them to their activities. So I have to maximize my time with work and, you know, my time with them.
Yeah.
Black Ops just put it all together.
Ooh.
Because I don't have to chase leads now. I used to purchase leads. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm never going to do that anymore. So aside from earning more, I'm spending less.
Oh,
right?
So that alone pays for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And one last thing, because we brought up kids. So if you're a parent watching right now and you want to teach your kids the right way to grow up with the right mindset, this is it, because you're going to transfer the skills to your kids.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, Emily. Well, you guys heard it here. I'm very, very grateful for you to take your time out of your busy schedule to do this interview, Emily. Thank you very much. And you guys heard it from Emily, a huge success, a loving heart, child of God. Thank you for bringing up the Bible and all of that, because that's big for me too. And you guys heard it here. So if you've been thinking about Black Ops, if you've been seeing my posts, if it's time to just throw your hat over the wall, do it. If you're trying to go to the next level, if you're looking for that income explosion, if you're looking for that right mentoring, the mentoring that's not going to leave you off to the side, if you're looking for the right team, you got to throw your hat over the wall. You got to do it. Stop counting the pennies, and you got to start visualizing the millions and millions of dollars that you're worth, because you are worth it. Okay. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Emily. And I'll go ahead and send you the recording.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
No problem. All right. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye. All right.